picture a setting where everyone is busy, talking, aiming to impress, yet a single person in the corner appears calm and collected. This person is not rushed, nor do they try to dominate with loud words. Instead, their steady presence draws your eye, and you sense they know exactly who they are and what they want. People like this carry a kind of hidden influence. They do not need to demand attention because they already hold it in a quiet way. This is what true power can look like, and it is much deeper than chasing fame or fortune. It grows out of a series of qualities that set such individuals apart and make them fascinating to watch. When we think of powerful people, we might picture someone with a commanding title or a booming voice. But the power I am talking about is different. It is more personal, more internal, and it does not need constant approval from others. It draws people in without forcing them. You sense it in the way these individuals handle pressure, hold themselves steady, and guide others to see their vision. While most people scramble for external rewards, those who have real strength often direct their energy inward first. They think about how to sharpen their character, train their minds, and become strategic in how they move through life. These traits are uncommon, but with practice, anyone can develop them. In tough moments, individuals with deep power rarely complain or blame circumstances. They stay grounded when life throws them challenges, and they learn from failures. That ability to remain steady, even in a storm, creates a natural authority. Imagine a ship's captain who does not panic in rough seas but finds a path to safety. Everyone on board can sense that calm focus. It inspires trust, and trust is a form of power. If you can keep your head while others are losing theirs, you become someone they rely on. Difficulties then become chances to prove your consistency. That does not mean such people are emotionless. Instead, they show a careful awareness of how emotions affect decision-making. They know that fear or anger can blur the mind and lead to short-sighted choices. When they feel strong emotions stirring, they pause and let the wave pass before speaking or acting. This calm is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of control. No matter how intense the emotion may be, they keep their eyes on the bigger picture, preserving options instead of burning bridges. By staying in command of themselves, they find ways to speak clearly and with purpose. It is also common for truly powerful individuals to see hidden layers in everyday life. They pick up on patterns, subtle shifts in people's expressions, or shifts in group moods that most overlook. They use these observations to guide their actions. While everyone else is distracted, they are studying the flow of events. This does not mean they spend every moment plotting or manipulating. It means they stay sharp and curious, gathering clues about how others think or what tensions might be forming. Over time, this habit gives them an edge because they avoid blind spots. They sense when to push forward and when to hold back. They notice opportunities and dangers before most people do. Perhaps even more intriguing is how these rare individuals find strength in patience. While many rush, wanting immediate rewards, they see the value in waiting. Their understanding of timing is like having a secret map. They will sit quietly, observing how events unfold until the right moment comes for them to act. In conversations, they might let others talk themselves into corners or reveal what they are thinking. In business or creative work, they might allow plans to develop naturally instead of forcing an outcome. This patience is not laziness, it is part of a plan. By waiting, they gain more insights and collect resources. Then, when they do move, they move decisively. Another trait that stands out is how they balance confidence with a willingness to learn from others. They know their own value, yet they are not so arrogant that they brush off new ideas. Their self-assured nature often comes from a history of overcoming problems and from having a clear sense of purpose. But they also listen carefully, asking questions to fill gaps in their knowledge. This mix of high self-esteem and constant learning makes them both admirable and approachable. People sense they are strong but not egotistical, certain but not close-minded. This balance draws respect because it shows both command and humility. Empathy is also a key ingredient in their approach. This does not mean they sacrifice themselves or ignore their own goals. Instead, they use empathy to better understand the needs and desires of the people around them. By tuning in to what others want, they spot ways to build alliances rather than create enemies. They show warmth when it is genuine, and they pay attention to how their words might affect others. This empathy helps them guide conversations toward constructive outcomes. It also discourages unnecessary conflict. Instead of thriving on tension or battles for dominance, they figure out how to align their goals with those of the group or team. When people feel heard, they are often more willing to support a leader's plan. That said, these individuals are not naive. They understand that human nature has its darker sides: envy, pettiness, and self-interest. Rather than living in denial, they calmly accept these aspects of the world. They prepare for betrayal, false promises, or power struggles, but they do not become paranoid or spiteful. Instead, they protect themselves by being strategic about what they reveal and to whom. They form clear boundaries, using their observations of other people's behavior to decide whom to trust. This realism actually helps them stay compassionate because they deal with human nature as it is, not as they wish it to be. A sense of independence also stands out. People who have real power tend to rely on their own abilities and form their own opinions. They might gather advice and knowledge from others, but in the end, they trust their own judgment. This self-reliance acts as a kind of shield. They are less swayed by passing trends or groupthink. They stand firm in their decisions, knowing that if things go wrong, they will adapt and learn. As a result, they are not desperate for approval or validation because they know their worth is not defined by external labels. They do not need to follow the crowd. In fact, they are comfortable being different if it means staying true to their sense of direction. Yet, they do not withdraw from the world. They engage with people, projects, and ideas, but they never lose sight of their inner compass. They shape their environment rather than letting the environment shape them. This might show up in small behaviors, like deciding when to speak up in a meeting, or which battles are worth fighting. Or it might show up in big life choices, like changing careers or starting a venture that goes against the norm. In every case, the controlling factor is not fear or impulse, but a carefully considered sense of purpose. One final quality is their gift for long-term thinking. In a world filled with quick distractions, people who can think years ahead have a remarkable advantage. They are not trapped by the need for quick applause. They see how decisions today might influence opportunities tomorrow. This perspective frees them from many of the emotional ups and downs that catch others off guard. They can handle setbacks because they see them as temporary problems on the way to a greater goal. By keeping a broad horizon, they also manage their energy better. They pace themselves, avoiding burnout, and they do not rush into deals or partnerships that do not fit their long-term vision. All of these traits flow together to create a presence that speaks louder than words. These people are not always the loudest in the room or the most flashy, yet their steady confidence and readiness to adapt gives them a kind of quiet magnetism. Others sense that they cannot be pushed off their course and that they do not lash out from insecurity or rage, and when they speak, people tend to listen. Their words carry weight because they do not waste them. If you are looking to strengthen your own sense of personal power, it begins with self-awareness. Pay attention to how you react under stress or what triggers you to lose focus. Practice waiting a bit longer before responding to conflict. Learn to read the room. Notice little changes in how people speak or how their tone shifts. Think about your goals in terms of where you want to be in 1 year or 3 or 5. When you feel the pull of impatience, remind yourself that timing can be more important than speed. Seek knowledge wherever you can find it, but keep a firm hold on your core values. Examine your own motives. Are you chasing something to impress others, or are you driven by a deeper sense of purpose? These qualities, when combined, create a person who does not just react to life, but shapes it. True power rests not in controlling others, but in mastering yourself and learning how to guide situations. It is about sensing the current of events, deciding when to move, and acting with clear intent. It is a form of wisdom that sets certain people apart. Observing them, you might think they were born with a special gift, but often it is the result of relentless self-improvement and respect for the reality of human nature. And it is never too late to adopt the same approach in your own life. Once you do, you will notice a shift in how people respond to you. They might not even be able to name it, but they will feel something in your presence. Certainty, balance, and an unwavering sense of direction. That feeling is genuine power, and it starts from the inside.